Well, been a long time, hasn't it? So I weren't nervous because I don't, I'm not trying to be like, I don't get nervous, but I don't typically get nervous, to be honest, because, I've pushed a lot of boundaries in my life. But I had a little bit of like, whoo, not done this for a little while. So please bear with me. Over the last few days, I've started to get back into the swing of things with Instagram. As many of you will have noticed, I've just not been very articulate, and my grammar and spelling has been all over the place, just because I'm out of practice, and I'm out of practice for these videos. So I was going to say if I digress, but I digress even when I'm in a good flow and practice them all the time, so I'll always digress, so that's never going to change. But bear with me if I lose my way a little bit, because it's been a while, a little bit rusty, but I'm looking forward to reconnecting with you all, telling you all what I've been up to and what we've been up to. Because it's not just me. I have an unbelievable, amazing team that have been with me all the way, physically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally. It's been such a roller coaster ride, and you have no idea what I'm talking about. All I can say is at this moment in time, everything that I spoke of, that I said we will deliver, we have been working towards that. So we'll talk about that in a moment, because there might be new people that have no idea who I am, who my team is, what we represent, what we're going to do. So I'll give you a very, very brief backdrop, because I don't like to waffle on too much about myself. Don't want to be too self-indulgent. It turns people off, I believe. And that's not why I'm here. And so on that note, I did say when I was doing these videos, I'll tell you how I've worked things in stage for those that don't know, okay? When I knew this time was coming. And again, people that are close to me, friends and family will tell you, I've always been, if you were to speak to me, and I've got ex-girlfriends that will be able to clarify this, that I used to be very truthful and say that if you want children with me and they, that marriage and 2.5 children and save for a holiday, I can't provide that life, because I'm here for something not bigger than that, because I don't want to insult anybody that's their life. That's your purpose, that's your life, that's your journey. Mine isn't. I always knew I was here for something with a different purpose to many others. And I'm fulfilling that purpose. And that started at the beginning of this pandemic. I was one, like many others, that was trying to wake people up to the truth. And I got some rallies in Manchester. One of the rallies, it was proposed that close to 10,000 people were marching through Manchester. And, and I was under a lot of stick for that, the typical beta males call them, because alpha males, I've had no alpha males trying to slag me off or, saying ridiculous things. I hope you catch COVID and die and all that kind of. It's been weak beta males, I call them, the keyboard warriors, which is fine. I've had that all my life. I've been banging this drum for a long time. I used to get called nuts when I used to speak about the chemtrails and everything else that all conspiracy theorists know what I'm talking about, so do not need me to waffle on about it. I'll get more to the point of things. So yeah, and the reason I got these rallies together, I was under no illusion. See, the idiots that like to slag people like the truthers off, and people that are trying to contribute in some way, shape or form, that are scared of the truth, that are living in fear, that typically don't have a great relationship with themselves, don't like themselves. So when they see, especially someone like myself, and I'm not ashamed to admit that I'm an alpha male leader, because that's just who I am. And anyone who knows me knows that that's who I am. And I'm not ashamed of it. I own that. And it's not arrogant for me to say it, because that's my qualities. Not perfect, far from it. But I lead with integrity. I lead with the highest of intentions, and morals and honor and all these things are values I hold in such high esteem, and they're very important to me. And people that know me close to me will know that. And I've had to remove people from my team for not having these kind of values and such like. So, you know, so yeah, like I said, I don't want to harp on too much about myself, but I am here, as many others will emerge, are emerging, as one of the leaders of this new world. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is I gathered people in Manchester in the knowing it was not going to change anything. I was under no illusion. People that know me well, I'm an absolute nerd for knowing my history, politics of the history of our history, whether that's antediluvian times, that's pre-flood and after. And so I'm a real nerd. I do a lot of reading. I like to think I'm more than educated than the average person in how the world really works and who's really running the world. That's all I'll say in it. If you know what I'm talking about, you'll know what I'm talking about. So in this knowing, I've known how rigged the system is, how deeply corrupted it is. Deeply corrupted it is. So I've never been under any illusion that one man was going to change all that. That doing a rally, a protest, or whatever you want to call them, bringing people together, unite them, 10,000 people or 1,000 people or 1,000,000 people at that moment in time, and even the London marches. Don't get me wrong, these rallies, everyone that went to them and gave their energy to them, they gave resistance to the establishment, the corrupted establishment. It gave a lot of resistance. It slowed a lot of things down, and it helped wake a lot of people up. But the main reason that I did these things was to unite people, to let a lot of people that I knew because I was interacting with them. So I was a platform where people were interacting with me that were telling me they feel so alone in the family, feel so alone in their workplace and wherever it was. These individuals that were awake to things, which nobody can deny now. Nobody can deny. This is a fact. All those that were against the death shot, all those that were screaming, the government's corrupted and they're lying to you and they're falsifying numbers and all this kind of stuff, were right. Categorically, 100%, no bones about it, right, correct, from the offset. Factual. Now, you have the hardcore deniers that are still hanging on to little bits like, when are these arrests? And they've already started happening. So, to summarise, I was wanting to lift the spirits, unite people, and those people that thought that they were alone, give them an opportunity to come together so they knew. So it gave them some hope. There were others like them that could see through what was transpiring, what was happening at that moment in time. That was my only purpose at that time. I knew we weren't going to change anything on the grand scheme of things. And I explained this later on. That was phase 1 for me. Phase 2 is now complete. And I'll share that over the next weeks and months as what I can. I can't share it all yet. Eventually I'll be able to share it all. I've been working with a lot of people, powerful, influential people. I've had a lot of betrayal, had people sell us out, had people come and join us. It's been such an adventure. I'll tell you more about it in the coming weeks, but I even, not for the first time, had to be resuscitated and lost my life. You know, and that, I know I'm smiling and people are thinking I'm absolutely nuts, but even in those moments, I have no fear because I am here by the grace of God to do God's work, and God's work through me isn't done yet. Far from it. So I know I'm not going anywhere. So that's, people may call it arrogance. I call it unwavering faith in why I've been sent here. So even in those moments after I got resuscitated, knew it weren't going to be the end. I know I sound like a madman, and maybe I am. But hey ho, I am who I am. So it's been a journey. One thing I will say, and that's the only time I'm going to mention this. I have mentioned it in videos in the past, but people that are following me, close to me, I resonate with, that want to get involved with the projects that we've got coming in the near future, very near future. We've been making a lot of progress. I'm going to speak about that in a moment, or else I'll digress and lose where I am, as I tend to do. Excuse me. And before anyone says it, yes, I know I lost a little bit of weight. I've not been, and I used to be a PT, own a gym, and had personal trainers, yada, yada, yada. I've not been able to train because we've been so busy for what's nearly 4 months. For someone like me, that's been hard. Like, I've been busy. I'm still very lean. Lost, a couple of stone probably. I'll, may gain that back. I'll see. I'll start training again soon. I'm looking forward to that aspect, but not been training. I've been busy doing things that are much more important than my ego, than my physique. Anyway, I digress. I'm waffling now, aren't I? Here I go. So yeah, that was because people think I feel great, lost a little bit of weight, beard's hiding it. I look like an absolute caveman about a week or so ago because I'm a bit groomed now and caught a bit of sunshine and stuff and showered. But it's been a very intense few months, which I had to be completely off social media and the grid, in the knowing there'll be some shit storms that come to try and distract us from the work. And lo and behold, it happened. No major dramas, but I'm only going to mention this once. I'm not even going to mention names. Okay? One particular individual just needs a lot of healing. Doesn't take rejection very well. And doesn't take rejection so well that nearly 2 years on decides to pipe up spouting all kinds. One thing I'll say is, if you believe it, great. Means you don't know me. And crack on and go and join the little witches. I shouldn't say witches, because I work with some amazing witches. I've worked with some amazing witches and worked with some amazing witches. And when I say witches, this is just a title for people that understand energy, that are healers, that are herbalists. Once upon a time, witches were our most sacred beings in our communities, as well as many others. These were our go-to. They were the much better version of the shitty, corrupted doctors that we have poisoning everybody right now, because they were actually good for your health. And they get a bad rap, but that's intentional to try and make us, well, I'll get into a rant about the Vatican and the Roman Catholic Church that have done all this, demonizing witches and what's called magic, healing, energy, Reiki, the amount of hardcore Christians I have telling me I'm doing the work of the devil because I do Reiki, healing and energy work. Yet Jesus was a healer. St. David was a healer. St. John was a healer. Like, all these, they could all heal. They all have stories. St. John, whoever it is, guarantee you all have a story of they were healing just like Jesus. And Jesus said, you can do exactly the same as me. Not going to get into that. I am going to do some more videos on this because anyone that knows me knows we are in the process of completely exposing the corrupted religions. Corrupted. I am a man of God. I know there's a higher power. But what I also know is that religion wasn't meant to be this way. I'll make it very clearly so people understand where I'm coming from. If your religion promotes any kind of suppressing of the female energy, suppressing of any individual in any way, shape or form, and certainly if it promotes you to go and kill anybody for any reason, your religion's been corrupted. And it might be that your whole religion's not fully corrupted, just certain aspects of it have been corrupted. And this is why I say, when I've read the Bible, full of profound wisdom, full of lots of truth, but also lots of falsehoods in there as well, because they have been altered and changed. And that's the truth. And that's the same for pretty much, I'm not going to say every religion, because it's not true actually, but for pretty much most religions. So that's where my stance. You suppress females, any kind of hate, discrimination, or judgment towards anyone else, and causes harm in any way, shape, or form, your religion is corrupted, and you've not had the elevated consciousness within you to recognize what's truth and what's a falsehood. So that's where I am on the religion side of things. Excuse me. So anyway, been working very much towards exposing not only where the true Holy Island is, these lands, on the Prime Meridian and the ley lines. People have heard me speak about ley lines, dragon lines, the Prime Meridian, the Rose Line, and all this kind of stuff, the Holy Grail. This is all the UK, by the way. This is why it's always been so heavily fought over. But if I start going into that right now, I did do a very brief video with Kerry Cassidy a long while back. I don't even know if it's up anymore. I don't know what's up or down on any of my socials, because I've not had much chance to check yet. I am going to get a little bit more engaged now. This is my first video. I'm going to do a live, possibly over the next 40 hours, and announce it when I can, when I know where I'm at from tomorrow. And I'll answer some questions. I'll speak about the Holy Land and our developments and where we're up to with exposing the true Holy Land. Watch for Rome. There's an announcement coming soon. Rome's falling. This will be the last pope you ever see. They're keeping the facade up, but I can tell you, he is out very soon. And he won't be replaced. And if they have a stand-in, it'll be for a very short period of time. Mark my words. So I'll progress on. Other things that I spoke about that would come. I said the UK would be the first to lift all of its restrictions and move out. It was true. I said that that would happen by mid-February. It was true. I also said Donald Trump would be in by around about 4th of July. Not on track there. Obviously, things are moving a lot slower than they anticipated. He'll be in well before 2024. People getting a bit of a tizzy about Mr. T. I've always said he is the perfect narcissist. He's the perfect catalyst to absolutely rock the boat and expose so much of the corruption. Do I think he's the perfect leader moving forward into this new age? No. And I don't mean new ages in new ages. I'll get to those in a moment. New ages. Not much better than your hardcore religious people in many aspects, to be perfectly honest, leading them down the wrong path. Although it seems like the path of light, it's not the right path. Come on to that in a moment, if I remember. But anyway, so you got Mr. T. I think who looks shaping up beautifully as to be the perfect leader, if you like, will be Ron DeSantis. Really like him. He's got his ego in check. Trump hasn't. Trump's got a massive ego, but you needed a huge ego to do what he did. To be able to literally bully these little cretins that are a part of what's called the cabal, the Jesuit order, all those things, We'll go into that at a later date, maybe, if you don't know what that is. So he was the perfect catalyst, but he was never the perfect leader long-term, short-term for me. So if he gets back in when Biden, he's going any day now. If he isn't arrested this month and removed this month, I'll be very surprised. It'll definitely be next month at the very latest. I'm sure you can see that. This is things I was saying and getting absolutely hammered for it. Don't get hammered anymore now. It's all coming to fruition. So that's going to take care of itself. I believe Trump will step in until 2024, and then I think DeSantis will take it. I think he'll be the new president then. I really do. Might be Trump, but I think DeSantis. I really do, because he was resonating with a lot of people, and he's for those that don't like Mr. T, but have now had to come to accept that, shit, he actually was fucking way better, and everyone like me that was saying, you guys are deluded, thinking, going with the Democrats. Again, something we called right. And let me just say, it's not necessarily because we're more intelligent. And in fact, in a lot of instances, they consider themselves the academic, intelligent type. Nothing to do with this. Nothing to do with that, rather, this awakening intelligence. And everything to do with a level of consciousness moving through them. Again, I'll do some lengthier videos and all the things that I've spoke about now. I'll probably cover them in a live extensively. Just try to cover as much as I can briefly to let you know where we're up to, and also introduce myself to maybe some new followers that have started following on. So my journey now, I can start getting back involved with you all because we're moving into the next phase. I told you all where I'm going to be representing. I am going to take Burnley. That's it. I know I'm going to take Burnley. What do I mean by taking Burnley? Well, I'm going to be the leader of Burnley. Whether the Burnley people know this or not, they soon will. I've got very, very influential, energized, what's the word I'm looking for? Not angered, motivated. Motivated by the corruption they've seen. Motivated by the backhanders they've seen within politics at the expense of the working class, the downtrodden. They don't give a shit that you couldn't see your nana for weeks and months on end, and possibly, very likely in many instances, didn't get to see many of our elders off in their latter years. Shortened their life significantly. Not only shortened it, their last few months, year or so, has then been lived in fear, disconnected from their families, and for what? A fucking lie. And we know it. You know it. So, I see a lot of individuals, and I've been back to my hometown and been around, and I've been working here and there while we've been preparing things, and I see so many individuals, those that have accepted that, they look despondent, they look like they've got no life in them, they look demoralised, and it might be because of the death shot, or it might be because they've woken up to the truth and it's just absolutely stripped them of any life within them, which is heartbreaking. Heartbreaking to see. And it's going to mean that people like me and you, those that are awake to it, those that didn't accept it, those that are motivated, those that see the true crimes that have been committed, it's up to us to unite, get together, organise, support each other, and let's go and bring justice to these lands. Justice, healing, accountability. It's not going to come from the police, because we know that only serves corporations. It's not going to come from government, because it's deeply corrupted. Even seen with Sanak, he was already primed to go in from the emails. From December, that email was. They give an illusion. I've spoke about this before. Oh, Boris is stepping down, so-and-so stepping. And what it is just to appease people, something's being done. Well, at least they're down. All right, well, that's settled then. It's an energy. Doesn't matter what puppets is stood there spouting the bullshit to you. It's the same script, same energy working through them. That energy is self-serving. That energy is lining their own pockets. They've become unbelievably rich at your expense, not just financially, not just in crashing the economy, which is coming very soon, not just being greedy little fucking parasites that they are, but they have destroyed families. They're the reasons. They knew this. Not everyone in politics knew it. There'll be plenty of politicians that actually didn't know this was planned, didn't know that there was lies. Even if you don't fall in alignment, right, with, you find it too hard to believe this was kind of planned, right? I accept that's a big fucking pill to accept. So I accept that. But what I can't accept is anybody saying to me that they can't see they've been lining their own pockets, that they've been making decisions not based on science, not based on the betterment of the people they're meant to represent, but based on their own self-serving, greedy little ratty gremlin needs. They're vermin and they need removing. And I'm telling you, I will do it. And I hope you all join me and give me as much support as you can. And I'll go back, because I slightly digressed. Be it those individuals that have come in that were trying to slag me off doing a YouTube stuff. One, it's up to you. If you want to explore it, ask them for evidence. Never find it. When I first set up the Reiki Academy, these few little gremlins got together, and a friend of mine, Lucy, let me know about these friends. I was like, calm down, because she was getting a bit ahead. I went, watch what happens when it won't go anywhere. Basically, the same girl, rejection, and in truth, I'll be honest, I was deadly honest with her. I just said, you're just not my type. You're a beautiful girl, very nice as I could be, just not my type. Anyway, a woman scorned. She just needs a lot of healing, bless her. That's all it is. She needs a lot of healing. Tried to offer it. She actually did, and my ex-girlfriend she was there. She received the phone call. But I'll tell you an interesting story, because it was funny. It just shows that how God works in mysterious ways. I posted pictures one day of being at a certain place, but I was there the day before, but didn't post pictures because, you know, I just didn't have time. I'm that kind of person to do a post. I post them the next day. And this individual who doesn't take rejection very well, obviously was watching my stories. I'm just telling you this because I love how, you know, the intervention, when you're aligned with God and you're in faith, everything always works out. You'll be looked after. So anyway, this is, you know, I'm only sharing this. It's insignificant, but it's a cool little story because it was funny at the time. So I come in from the gym and my girlfriend at the time, Heather, is like waving me over. I'm like, what? She went, oh yeah, and what else happened? Well, do you know at that London protest, he stayed over and he was in a bed with me and we had sex and I'm like laughing inside because the truth is this individual, she was hanging around me a bit and I was like, oh, can't be arsed. So I kind of told a little white lie. My own fault, karma, for the little white lie. But I said to her, do you know what? I'll catch you later. I'm staying in London anyway, so I'll catch you later. I wasn't staying in London. I actually came back with Rob and Ian, my two pals. And but she thought I'd stayed. So she was ringing up basically saying he stayed in London, we were having sex, and Heather knew I didn't stay in London because I came back that day. So that screwed her over with my little white light there. And I was sat there listening and she went, well, why don't you tell him he's here? She hung up and then straight, I already had her name because I knew who it was. Open on WhatsApp to call her. Why am I telling this story? Screw it. We know I like a story. So I started ringing her straight away. She was hanging up, then blocked me. And I was like, anyway, whatever. And then she's popped up recently with some other little witches, the little group. Stop saying witches. Sorry to all the witches. And the vast majority I've met have been awesome and sound and amazing. I need to stop saying witches. Little demons, because that's what they are. Demons. Little demons. So those little demons piped up. Don't get involved. If you really want to get involved, go for it. But do it properly. Say, show me some evidence. Show me this. Show me that. Whatever. Those individuals trying to ruin the Reiki Academy. Lucy was getting fret up and I was like, don't worry. Watch what happens. You have to ignore it. I bet you. And she was like, but they're joined together. They're going to do this, that. And I went, won't last. Watch. They didn't even last 2 weeks before they'd fell out with each other and they were arguing. And that's what demons do. That's what demons do. So don't listen to them unless you really want to because you're a nosy bastard and you want to get involved. Then fine, crack on. But don't bother me with it because I don't care. And I've said this time and time again. We haven't even got started yet with the amount of shit and abuse that is going to come my way. Because I am everything that they want to stop. I am the light they despise. Because they want to hold on to the old world. They want to be able to get away with doing what they're doing. So I'm going to come under massive attack. And it's going to be water off a duck's back with me. I don't care. Because I know who I am. And the truth is the truth. And the truth don't need defending. So I'll finish on this with my rant. Don't go messaging my mother. Who also is like me, who don't give a shit, by the way. She's water off a duck's back. We're very thick-skinned. Telling my mum, he should be defending it. I will not defend myself against anybody, especially when they speak falsehoods, because I don't need to. If you want to waste your time feeding that energy, I've always said, this is my best description. If you've got a little demon dog going, rah, 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 barking through a fence at you, right? What does it serve me to go up to that fence and go, rah, rah? So these two dogs are like, rah, 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 barking the shit at each other, lowering my energy to bark with them. Bark. Where does the barking lead? Nowhere. They just want you to bark with them so they feel like accepted, so they bring you down to their energy and feed on that energy. Don't be that stupid, ratty little demon dog that's like, rah, 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 rah. Let them bark away. The moment you start barking with them, boom, they've got you. That's all they're after. They're just wanting to lure you in. They just want your energy to stay disconnected. So I appreciate the gesture and the intentions of defending me, but don't. The truth defends itself. And as I've always said, actions speak louder than words. So you see what I'm about to do. You see what me and my team are about to do. And nobody is going to be able to stop us or slag us off unless they're truly, truly, truly broken inside. And so in such a deep place of loathing and hating themselves, they want to attack us that are going to bring justice, healing, community, and all those things that your supposed representatives are meant to be doing. I'm going to do it, and I've got an amazing team behind me supporting me. So, the Peace Force. This is our own police force. I will start this up in Burnley first of all. And what we are going to do is this Peace Force will have nothing to do with the police force. Nothing at all. Why? Because this is going to serve the people. This will grow and expand into many counties over the next few years. Trust me when I say, and I've said it before, we've got more than enough volunteers. We've got ex-forces, ex-police. We've got them all. We've got them all. Like, so many that want to leave the police force because they know it only serves corporation. They know they've fallen out of love with the public. The public don't like them, don't trust them anymore. And it's a shame for those guys, and there's loads of them. I know quite a few coppers, and I've got to know quite a few during this time, been banged up in cells for protests. I went to Liverpool I didn't even organise a protest. I was just walking and they seen me as targeting, and I get the game. Keep targeting me to try and bring down my spirit. So I think, fuck this. I've got to go to court over 10 grand fines. I seen that as all part of the journey. I even prepared, when I got my 10 grand fine, I was going to represent myself in court. I turned up on the day and they threw it out. They didn't even tell me. Do you know that? They didn't even tell me it was thrown out. But I wanted to represent myself because I wanted that time in court. I want to see how the system works. Anything that they've been throwing at me, I've been excited to bring it at me because this means I'm serving my purpose. And when I start making my moves now, like when I handed in that notice to Greater Manchester Police, the Nuremberg Code of crimes against humanity, did I expect a phone call? No. Did I expect any arrests? No. But what they've also done is given me an opportunity, presented it to them. So then when the time comes that they challenge me, I'll be like, no. I've come to you guys. I wanted to cooperate with you. I wanted to work with you. And you have decided to do nothing. So you don't represent the people and you certainly don't represent me. So I'll set it up myself. And the army I've got that are going to join this peace force are going to be honourable, integral, and serve the people. And this will grow into something spectacular. We are going to actually go and arrest criminals through the common law process, which is legitimate. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. They're part of the system or they don't understand common law properly. God's law, I like to call